back here. We're in the, I guess what you say, the main.
Yeah, this is the main maintenance area, I guess you'd call it. So once we get some of these cars that we've got in here moved out, we'll get our cars on this side and the new builds down that side. That's how we did it last year. And just for using the space up, we've got it kind of mixed up right now.
So when a Pinty race happens, you guys gotta load up a car, load up a pit car, load up, I guess, do you guys load up backups automatically, or is that something you guys gotta wait on?
Last year when we ran the 5 teams, we had 5 teams and we had 12 cars to do that with. So we had 10 cars that were together all the time. We had 1 car that we ended up using as a backup that got used a couple times, and then another car, that one over there, that we never really did get finished. We just kind of liberated some pieces off it to keep going. But this year now we're focusing on 2 teams. Our intent is now to have backup cars for both teams. Primary, oval, and road course we're going to build brand new, plus their backup oval and road course cars. And then we want to do a dirt car for each team too. So, you know, we're talking about 10 cars to run the 2 teams, where we were 12 cars for the 5 teams last year. We've still got the same amount of staff. We're just thinking that should make life a lot easier for going to the racetrack. Just sometimes the programs change and people pay a little bit more for some exclusivity, so we're able to get that done.
So we've seen you say talk about backups, you've talked about switching cars over. How would the process about actually wrapping the cars, like how long that takes? Like, do you guys have to rewrap them after every race?
A complete wrap will take the people that come in and do it. We've got Dennis Thompson is the main guy that was doing a lot of our stuff last year, and Dennis can do a whole car in back. If we can get it up on stands and stay away and just let him go at it, he does a really nice job. There's some other people that can come in, sometimes a little quicker because they work in a pair, or a little bit slower depending on what the job is. But the maintenance on the cars, the weekly maintenance, as long as we didn't tear them up really bad, Dennis was able to come in and do the cars he was responsible for in a day. And then Glenn, with his program, he had another company that comes in and does his, and that gentleman does a fantastic job. It's about the same amount of time.
You talked about turning the cars around week to week, and this time you're getting them all prepared. How big of a staff is that Wight Motorsports at any given point?
Well, any given point, you see the size of the lunchroom when we came in, and a lot of times through the week we'll fill all those chairs. Yeah. So, you know, we're talking, there's 6 to 7 people here throughout the week when everybody's here. In the summertime, it's more than that. We have some volunteers come in and some other guys that come.
We've made the trip to the fabrication section of Wight Motorsports with our tour guide Jeff Wilcox. And you guys remember Jeff's been a long time in the NASCAR Pinty series. But Jeff, I want to talk about what happens in this area.
Yeah, so we've got the jig over here where we build the chassis. So the foundation started there. Once the chassis is completed, welded enough that we can remove it, then they come over to substations here, where a lot of the finishing components go into them, some mounts, brake mounts, things like that. So we've got a couple on the go right now over here. Then over on this plate is where we'll do body mounting. So we mount bodies over here. So that car there is one that a customer has bought from us, and it was a Camaro, and now it's a Mustang. And that's what's going on over here. So that car was already on that platform, had that body mounted. Now it's pulled off so we can finish the crush panels on it, and we'll set the body back on it. This is the tin work area for interior sheet metal over here. Body mounting there, and this is the fab area over here where the cut and grind and weld and the foundations of the car is done over here.
So this is, how long of a process are we talking is it to put one of these cars together?
It's a pretty extensive program. Like it doesn't take long to start a chassis over here. So it looks like it goes fairly quickly. So you can go in a week, you can go from nothing on that jig to a car that looks just like that. The next longest part is doing the interior too. Yeah, and that does take a long time. So from conception over here to completion, when they're done over there, it can take a couple of months. And that's hustling.
And they have a pretty extensive team here at WMI, right?
Yes, we do. So we've got fabricators, welders. Dave himself, of course, is the top guy. And
Okay.
And we'll do the maintenance on our cars over there, and then new cars are assembled down this side. But just with where we are in the season right now, we've sold some cars, we've got some cars leaving, some different cars coming in. That car that's on that surface plate, so that's the surface plate setups on. But we're not doing any final setups right now, so we actually mounted a body right there, which now is a backup oval car for Pinty's, and we're going to build a new one as a primary car. And this is Glenn's late model car that they went to the Snowflake with, and we're preparing it now to go speed race.
Wow.
New Smyrna. So Glenn's going to run some races down there at New Smyrna, and I believe he's going to the third car too. So he's going to be busy the next month. So we can take a 27 car hanging off the hood pins of the 27 hood there. So that was a pretty vicious crash, and it was surprising how tight those panels were jammed up into the floor of the car.
So what Jeff's talking about, that big crash at Delaware Speedway last year, how far did we see Alex's car get into?
His car, you can look right up in here, and you can see back here where the X is bent, and that's right where Alex's halo bar was. So it was right up into the center of our car. We went over top, and it skimmed the roof off his car, and inserted it up above the exhaust of the chassis of our car, and we had to disassemble the car to get those pieces out. And when DJ come up on this side, it didn't look like he got into us that much, but he just got into the battery box on this side and crushed it. He was fortunate enough to keep on going, but when we went over top, it ripped the brake lines off. So Andrew had no.
So if you take a look, see at the back, those are the pieces of Alex's car right there. Yeah, so that's how far did you say this got?
It was right into the center of the car, right at the center of the X, just in front of the rear end housing. So it was wedged up in between the floor and the exhaust.
So these are the pit boxes that you guys use on a race weekend. Can you tell us a bit more about them?
Yeah, so the pit have everything we need to maintain the cars and service them at the track. Last year with the 5 teams, we had 4 main pit boxes. This is the one that Glenn used. This is the one that Andrew in the 27th used. And that one there was the 2 and the 64. What we'll probably do is turn one of these pit boxes into a crash cart so we can have some spare parts in there and hopefully not need them. But it's better to have and not need. But for the other pit carts, we've got tools, pretty well every hand tool you'll need to do the maintenance on the car. We got scales down here, but they've got scale boxes. They'll slide in there. Jacks, spring rubbers, extra parts, pretty well everything you need to just keep going on the weekend.
Cool.
How important is it to keep the cars clean?
Clean? That's very important. In my opinion, I like to take a clean race car to the racetrack. It's easier to see things on the car. It's easier to see when things can go wrong. You can head off some stuff. I've seen some maybe not so clean race cars in the past, and it's really hard to tell where leaks may be coming from or potential cracks in the chassis if it's not cleaned up. It's very important.
Thank you.